Festival 2 Mari is unfortunately withdrawing for this month's festival banner. Anyway, this is TinBoy752, aka the player who would like to thank you for reaching 50 subscribers for this channel and 1 quarter of my channel. Now I'll be doing my card breakdown featuring It's Showtime Kanata and Titania of the Summer Breezes Setsuna. I call this banner Smile Attribute SB Type Reinforcement Festival Banner. This scouting banner is available until December 14 afternoon. I will start off with basic info, my thoughts on the card, and then the verdict. The first festival UR that you can get is It's Showtime Kanata. Her base stats will start off at 7,777 base appeal, 2,767 base stamina, 7,960 base technique with 38.88% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 13,922 base appeal, 4,970 base stamina, 14,252 base technique with 57.75% critical rate. Kanata's skill is SB Voltage Buffer, increasing SB voltage by 30 to 40% of her technique for the next SB burst at 33% chance. Her passive ability is Appeal Plus and Stamina Plus, affecting Smile cards by increasing base appeal by 4.5 to 6.5% and base stamina by 2 to 3.2%. Her active ability is Appeal Buffer, increasing base appeal by 1.2, affecting Smile cards on SB burst at 50% chance. Kanata is a Smile variant of Temptation Blue Caddy. Her stats are buffed up and focuses on critical potential, as the difference between her appeal and technique are slightly there until you put in limit increases. Her skill overthrows Karen as the stats are free. Her passive ability is Dual Stat, making a great support for Smile cards. Your stamina stat will need a little help depending on how many Smile cards you have in a team. Her active ability looks familiar. There is no limitation on how many times Kanata will increase base appeal on SB burst success, 50% chance. Now, I think this appeal buffer active ability is resembling Hanamaru and Wonderland Hanamaru because the active ability has no limitation on increasing her strategy's base appeal. The trade-off is that the increase rate is 0.8%. This is weaker than Appeal Plus Small from Insight, but it is guaranteed to stack depending on how many appeal chances you succeed. Activating Kanata's active ability will take a 50-50 chance after each SB burst, but the increase rate is 1.2 for Smile card, meaning you increase the average appeal for those cards. Making sure the active ability is not guaranteed to stack is how Kayla will balance against Hanamaru's active ability. Her festival costume comes in 2 colors, orange and purple. This is what she looks like in costume preview. Nice! This is messier than Party Kanata's costume, but I do like that the clown approach she's going for. Well, a Harley Quinn nonetheless, but at least the 3-layer skirt, stockings at its finest, as well as the strap-in suspenders, and then nifty small top, and then detachable sleeves. Lastly, her hair strands have either pink or green, or likely magenta, as well as a small hair, giving it a carnival look if anyone wants to have a support for party-themed live shows. The second festival UR that you can get is Titania of the Summer Breezes Setsuna. Her base stats will start off at 7,410 base appeal, 3,331 base stamina, and 7,777 base technique with 38.33% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 13,260 base appeal, 5,966 base stamina, 13,922 base technique with 56.76% critical rate. Setsuna's skill is SB Fill, filling SB gauge by 79% at 33% chance. Her passive ability is Appeal Plus and Technique Plus, affecting Smile cards by increasing base appeal by 4.5 to 6.5% and base technique by 2 to 3.2%. Her active ability is SB Fill, filling SB gauge by 800 on strategy switch at 30% chance. If Kanata's SB voltage buffer is not your ideal tactic, then Setsuna's Titania card will help you out in clearing SB appeal chances faster. Her skill is SB Fill like other SB filler cards. Her passive focuses on appeal and technique, giving Smile cards a slight edge on critical potential. However, her active ability comes from an earlier festival card, Delightful Waltz Emma. In terms of how to activate their skills more often, Emma has the advantage where she can fill up SP on Twitch more often than Setsuna. However, in Setsuna's case, she has a quarter of Emma's skill rate but fills up more SP gauge. If attribute is not your concern, then you can stack the Lipo Walt Emma and Titania Setsuna so that there is a chance that your SP type strategy switch bonus will stack up to 1700 SP gauge. This is one of the most desirable scenarios for SP meta players because it will fill more than half of the SP gauge for beginner, a third for intermediate, a quarter for advanced, and a fifth for expert and challenge. This may not be my calculation, but as a chance of getting both their SP build to activate on Switch is around 17.5. If you have the Lipo Walt Emma and you get this card, you can win the next SBL, which will be round 18, and both Setsuna and Emma players will get a run-of-the-mill SP skill awards moving forward that their ability will destroy the competition if you're lucky enough to switch strategies more often. Her festival costume comes in two colors, blue and purple. This is what she looks like in costume preview. And I do like the fairy tale costume that Setsuna has been wearing this. And this kinda almost not actually resembled, but it's related to Mystic Fairy Aimu's costume. The difference is that Setsuna has detachable sleeves, similar to its Showtime Kanata, and as well as two big flowers, one on her head and as a hair ribbon decoration, as well as one big on the side of her hip, as part of the lower skirt. Other than that, I do like the design, pretty beautiful, and then like a crepe paper, making it look like a wing. And last but not least, the design as well as her dongo hairs, it's really beautiful. It really contrasts from her hair when her hair is down. The first new scouting star that you can get is Mogyuto Umi. Being a cool skill card, her base stats will start off at 3,931 base appeal, 2,620 base stamina, 5,365 base technique with 31.09% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 6,697 base appeal, 4,464 base stamina, 9,133 base technique with 42.39% critical rate. Umi's skill is technique-based healing, restoring stamina by 17 to 29% of her technique. Her passive ability is the Feel Plus, affecting all cards by increasing base appeal by 1 to 2.2%. Her active ability is Critical Power Buffer, increasing voltage gain from critical notes by 3%, affecting everyone at the start of a live show at 30% chance. Umi is good for technique healing. Her technique stat is high for base and max limit increases, and her critical rate is above 30 for base and above 40. The reason you would get this card is the sole purpose of technique healing. If there are songs that penalize star healers, then having this SR card in your team will take the substitute. I would not rely on her active ability, however, due that it only triggers on song start. This is what she looks like in costume preview. Oh my god, you're such a beautiful girl! Oh yeah, funny part is that this is the second time Umi's hairstyle changes instead of having her hair down. It's like Angelic Angel, but this time she dyed her hair as dongos, so side hair buns, am I right? I can say this card has got me the attractive, but this Mogyuto costume, I think looks good. Even emphasizes on Umi's bust size, but who knows? I really love her. The second scouting star that you can get is Waterblue Yoshiko. Being an elegant voltage card, her base stats will start off at 4,653 base appeal, 3,456 base stamina, 3,817 base technique with 11.45% critical rate. Her 5th limit stats will end up at 7,915 base appeal, 5,885 base stamina, 6,494 base technique with 19.48% critical rate. Yoshiko's skill is Appeal Buffer, increasing effective appeal by 5 to 7%, affecting her strategy for 5 notes. Her passive ability is Appeal Plus, affecting herself by increasing base appeal by 5 to 7%. Her active ability is Voltage Gain, gaining voltage by 77% of her appeal on first appeal chance only. Yoshiko hands us a book, only to find out that her skill can increase effective appeal only on her strategy. Useful for frontline scores and advanced songs, Her passive is self-beneficial, greedy but works on a solo frontline. Lastly, her active ability is a useless voltage gain. After starting an appeal chance, her voltage gain will add in a lot from her appeal stat. In most cases, use her only in appeal support and nothing else. Costume collection. This is what she looks like wearing the water blue costume. Our crow with feathers here. Well, I guess they decided to attach Yoshiko's feather on her ear bun. She has the darkest feathers, like not actually like the darkest, but rather that is like resembling pattern. I do like this one. Her wings at the back though is blue. I can say this is a cool costume. It resembles Ball from the arcade game, but I wouldn't expect that much since it's just trying to replicate into All Stars but in mobile optimization. I will say this festival banner is a long time waiting for Kanata and Setsuna players. Meta players will have to chase them now to finally improve SP meta from a smile attributes perspective. With the release of Humano Equal Expert, there's no doubt they will need to scout one of the two. Kanata is the SP voltage buffer with stacking appeal buffer that can compete with Hanamaru in scope. Setsuna is the goddess of smile SP fillers that we need. She replicated Emma's active ability for the smile attribute. Louis is a decent technique healer for SPL recovery reward. Lastly, Yoshiko is a costume collection card, as her skill is only feature useful and nothing else. They deserve the spotlight, but at a cost of who dead? Mari and Ayumu. They'll be placed last for December festival banner. Party Alley is due for mid-December, so everything will be over. For me, I'm crippled emotionally on the announcement. However, I do have two Setsuna cards, so I might have to be lucky to get the first solo SP first team using limited wires. I will just say thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and follow my socials in the video description, because I will end it with one of the best rivalries in the whole All-Stars lore. Good luck, Kanata and Setsuna Scouters. Goodbye. See you soon.
予測がつかないドキドキノンストップバトル。こんなにエキサイトできるとは思わなかったわ。いつまでも続けていたいけど。はい。戦いは終わらせなければなりません。マリさんは強いです。楽しいってずっと笑ってるけど、全然油断しないですもんね。私じゃ叶わないかもしれないけど、それでも2人と約束したんです。絶対勝とうねって。だから必ずマリさんを倒します。グレイト。そんな顔もするのね、歩夢。いいわ。本気でかかってきなさい。行きます、マリさん。